Welcome everyone to episode number 10 of the Natty Talk podcast. We're on double digits today, and we also
Yeah.
have a very special episode because we've got four people on the podcast today. We've got two return guests. We've got Tris over here and Herc. I guess both of them need no introduction since they have been on the podcast before. So thank you very
OGs.
much, guys. OGs, thank you very much for coming on for this special episode 10. And yeah, let's get right into it. Who's got a topic to throw out there?
Well, me and Herc wanted to bring up the whole Sam Sulek thing. This lifter, he's like 21, probably about 260. Just
Shredded.
finished bulking on a diet even worse than mine. Seems like a super nice guy, you know. He's got a cool channel. He uploads like every day, but everybody is, the elephant in the room is that he's on a shit ton of gear. So there's people that hate him just because of that. There's people that are kind of ignoring it. So I want to know you guys' thoughts. Like, should we ignore it? Should we call it how it is? Should we be like super rude about it? I think somewhere in the middle, but what do you guys think?
All right, Trish, you want to go first, or
I'm gonna be honest. I don't have like a very high opinion on this. I believe I have literally not seen a single Sam Sulek video, so
Okay.
I can't really speak on it. From what I've heard of him, like the diet, I did see the diet video of what he eats in a day, and I mean, it's pretty bad.
So what was it? I actually haven't seen it. I saw something about like chocolate milk, and he had donuts, and I was thinking like, man, I don't even. Was it really a gallon?
Just like a gallon of chocolate milk a day. Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Like I feel sick to my stomach if I even have like 500 calories of chocolate milk.
Like same here. Yeah, I'm lactose intolerant, so you shouldn't.
He's lactose tolerant. He's tolerant.
Yeah. He's tolerant.
Extremely
Yeah,
tolerant.
He's
So is he
tolerating it.
like fluffy now? Like is he 260 fluffy or?
Oh no, he's like cutting right now.
Well, yeah, he just finished bulking and like he didn't end up like a fluffy 260. He's like 260 with like clearly visible abs, veins all over, like he still looks relatively
And
lean
he's like
by
21.
most standards. 21.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how tall he is though.
Yeah. I've never seen
I
a.
think he's 6 foot, or he's 5'11". He's 5'11".
Man,
Something like that.
that's crazy. He literally has the same stats as me, but like the weight is so much crazier. He's the
Yeah.
same age, same height. Yeah.
But that's like
pretty insane.
open bodybuilder kind of weight,
Yeah,
right?
like IFBD
Right.
kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I've never seen a single video of his either. I've kind of seen like photos just around on the internet, and yeah, I mean, the guy looks freaky as hell. Also looks pretty unhealthy, and I guess if his diet is that bad with a combination of all the steroids, that's probably not too good for him. But what's like the controversy with him? Is it that
Okay.
he's not such a good example to people, or what's the deal? Because I know nothing about him, so fill us in.
All right. Well, I've watched quite a bit of his videos. I probably watched like 5 or 6 videos. But it's kind of similar to what Aidan was saying. It's really, I think there's a couple of different things going on. It really just depends on how you look at it. But basically, people, you could say the controversy is he doesn't really bring up PEDs in any of his videos, which, to be honest, I think that's a good thing. But
That's probably a good thing.
Also, his diet is not the best. And I'm going to be honest, I think Greg Doucette video was the one that brought light to his diet. And
Yeah.
you already know how I feel about Greg Doucette. I'm not a fan of his. I think he's really the pot calling that kind of black. You really can't call nobody out with his. Either way. But anyway, you have like Sam's diet, which is not the best. The fact that he doesn't really talk about PEDs, and I think what's going on is a lot of people are just jealous of the success that, like, he's 21, came out of nowhere, he's got this big YouTube channel, and
Huge.
yeah, exactly. He's got like almost like 1 million followers. He just started like a couple months ago.
I think he gains like 20K subs a day or something last time I looked.
Yeah,
on
it's insane.
Social Blade.
Like
That's
every
crazy.
time I look at it, it's like another number on the end or whatever. So I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, that's pretty much what the controversy is. And really, my take on it is, I think if you actually watch his videos and you don't just look at clips that are like put on like shorts, or you don't just listen to like Gregory said or like any of these other people like that. You actually just watch his content for what it is. He actually has like a really good message on like his video. Like he's not, telling people to dirty bulk and do crazy shit. Now he is doing that himself
he's
in a
not
way,
really
but,
leading by example, right?
Yeah, he's not
do
leading
what I
by
say,
example,
not what I do.
But he's like he trains like really hard, he trains passionately, and he like just gives, how do I explain it? Like he's just really chill and like wholesome. He's humble. He's not a dick. But if you just watch like shorts of him that people are making, you'll think he's a dick because he's like, oh, this big roid dude eats bad diet. He must be a fucking dick or whatever. But that's really
out
not
of context. Out of context, he seems kind of like harsh, but you watch him and like he's an intelligent guy. He speaks in like such a way. That's why he's gotten famous. It's not just the physique and
you're right.
And
he's
all
very
that.
eloquent with the way he speaks.
So he doesn't like
the
play
way he
natural or anything like that.
No, he just doesn't bring it up.
Right.
He doesn't bring it up, but like I'm sure if like it came down to it and he had to answer, like he would not be like, yeah, guys, I'm Natty. He would say, I don't want to talk about it, or he would probably just say that he's taking performance enhancing drugs. He probably wouldn't say tren, whatever, and all that listed off, because I think he probably is thinking about how younger people are watching him. But I mean, that's the thing too, like all that risky stuff. Maybe the diet is not necessary, but for like what he's trying to do, like be like open bodybuilding, IFBB, and all that, like you have to take steroids to compete with all those other guys that are doing that. So,
and is that his thing? Like he wants to become a pro bodybuilder? He wants
to compete.
Right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. He just got sponsored by some company. I can't remember the name.
With Hostile.
Yeah. So Hostile sponsored him, and I guess that was like a big thing and stuff. So, but I mean, it's a totally different thing. Like natural bodybuilding versus IFBB. It's like it's not the same thing, and he chose that, and people.
I think
people still watch him.
I think I like what Aidan said. I think a lot of his views did come from more so his speaking as opposed to just his physique. Because there's lots of people with a crazy physique on social media. Let's be real, like Ivan pros and stuff. But I think it's kind of disingenuous if people are hating on him, for example, for the PED thing. But a lot of the people on social media that have big following, a lot of them take PED. So what do you say? Okay, I don't like this guy that's training and doing this and takes PEDs, but all the rest of them, and I don't want to call names because I don't know who's natural and who's not. That's not my thing. But you get what I'm saying? It's not like it's this guy, he's the only one that takes PEDs and nobody else does.
Yeah, they're singling him out.
We're going to hate on him and hate on him. Like he wants to be an open bodybuilder. That's what they do. Like you know what I mean? That's I look at it.
I think the reason that is happening is because he has so many followers. Like people don't care about the IFBB pro bodybuilder with 5K subs, right? Literally no one cares. But he's got a lot of subs.
That's harsh, bro.
I'm sorry. I'm just telling you how it is. Like if he, just the way that he blew up, people are gonna start asking questions like, is this guy a good influence on all of the people that are following him, right? People are not going to ask those questions for a bodybuilder with 5K subs, and like that's just how it is. I mean, it's not even a drag or anything because I don't even have 5K subs, so it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean that's the interesting part, what Tris is bringing up. And again, like I don't want to make any judgments on the guy because seriously, I've not seen a single video, so I don't know anything. But just to make this conversation a little bit more spicy and to throw in that devil's advocate, is he a good influence on the people who follow him, or is like with him existing on social media? Are more or less people doing drugs in the world? Dangerous drugs.
A good question. I think I don't know, and like it sucks because like if anything bad happens to him, I would say that there would be less people that do it because of him. But obviously, we don't want that to happen. We like him. We think he's cool. But then it's like no one's really going to learn the lesson. I mean, it sucks. Yeah, you know, you get like Rich Piana, Dallas McCarver, all these guys that get way too big for way too long. You know, what ideally I would want to see is maybe he gets his pro card in IFBB or whatever, and then from there he downsizes because he knows that he got that success for his personality, I think. So he can downsize, he can weigh like 235, whatever, 220, you know, stay there. He could probably do that naturally too, or at least like TRT or whatever. But the gear blasting and stuff, like hopefully he
Well, and interestingly, like if he did build up this big audience, and even if, you know, obviously his physique would have helped him build up this big audience, but, you know, that puts him in quite a privileged position, similar to how Larry Wheels, you know, people do watch him for his personality, and then he can, you know, go on TRT and start, you know, really setting a better example, and maybe, you know, trying to convince people not to do that stuff and still have his platform and still be able to make money off of it and everything. You know, like he'll probably make more money as an influencer, no matter how big he is, than he ever will as a pro bodybuilder, right? Like, you don't, what kind of money do you make as a pro bodybuilder?
But at the same time, it's like, he might not even be in it for the money at all. Like, he seems like a humble dude who like literally only cares about working out.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, no,
like,
that's totally fair.
And he's probably making a shit ton of money off of YouTube, or at least like, you know, every single day he's getting, you know, 700,000 views plus on his channel or something. So
yeah, for sure.
I mean, he's making like a lot of money off that, but you don't see him like buying anything new. You don't see him changing his outfits. Like everything just has stayed the same. So he seems like a humble guy who legit has one goal.
Yeah, he wants to become a pro bodybuilder, and, you know, he's sharing his journey on YouTube. Like, you know, who am I to judge, right? That's totally his prerogative. But yeah, it is just interesting to think, like, you know, just overall, like his influence on the world are more young kids watching him and thinking, oh, I want to be like that. Like, you know, I'm going to start blasting gear and I want to look like that too, because this guy's just so damn cool, you know? Again, I'm saying this not to dog on the guy, and I haven't seen a single video.
No, it's a reasonable thing to say.
That's just what I think is the interesting part of the conversation for the Natty Talk podcast.
I got some stuff I want to say, but
yeah, go ahead, Herc. No, give us your take.
Because I already know what I say. They're gonna be like, oh, of course that Herc guy would say that. He's not Natty. Of course he would be on Sam's side.
I'm gonna get canceled for a second time for having you on, man.
Yeah, do it, bro. Who cares?
I'm gonna
get change the name of the podcast.
They're not like, Natty Talk.
This is the unnatty podcast.
Man, I had people commenting on my main channel like, I lost all respect for this guy the moment he had this clearly fake natty on his podcast. It's like, so this is round 2 of cancellation.
Well, here's the thing,
on, guys.
Here's the thing, and this is not to downplay Herc's physique, because it's still probably one of the craziest natty physiques I've seen. But like, if you live in America, there's more guys like that like big dudes, genetically big dudes. Not to say it wasn't hard work too, but right, like there's dudes that can carry like 220, like looking lean. You know, it happens. I mean, there's a guy that just got signed with the WWE that goes to my gym. He's like probably 6'4", 235, 240, and he's got like shoulder veins and stuff. You can tell he's natty too by you can just tell. I don't know. I got like a natty radar. So this dude's also natty, and like he's even bigger. So, you know,
and I mean,
people get so bent out of shape, man. And then people say, like, in some pictures, like, you know, the picture where I looked like GVS or whatever, there's people saying I'm not natty on that. And it's like, bro, I'm like 190. So if I'm not natty, then what the fuck?
Yeah, then why work out?
If you're bigger than the person commenting, then you're not natty.
And you're not natty, yeah.
That's the way it works.
But like,
so anyone who's 192 is not natty.
Exactly.
This Sam Sulek is the perfect example for, like, you know, he's like way bigger than Herc, right? And he's 21.
He's like 30 pounds bigger than me at similar height.
Yeah, so, you know, that.
I'll tell you what's also really crazy. I saw his transformation from 19 to 21. That one, me saying that was what really let me know that he wasn't that. Well, again, I don't like to accuse people of stuff. Again, I like to say there's probably a 9% chance he's not. Again, you never really fucking know that. But anyway, I saw like what he looked like at 19 to what he looked like at 21. He gained like like 70 pounds in like 2 years. Like after lifting for 3 years. He'd already been lifting for 3 years. So when I saw that, I was like, holy fuck.
And he was still lean. It wasn't like 70 pounds and he got thick.
No fat. Like he looks leaner. He also looks leaner now at 250 or whatever he weighs now than he did at like 190 at 19 or whatever. However much weight.
So like that's a not natty transformation, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Like he made like 15. I was telling Aidan, he made like 15 years of progress in 24 months. 2 years. Like
yeah, it's crazy stuff. But Herc, please give us your take on what we were talking about.
Give my spicy take.
Yeah, I think we derailed that a little bit. So please go ahead.
Oh no, you guys didn't. It's all part of the conversation. To answer your question about is Sam Sulek is he a net positive or a net negative to the fitness industry? Honestly, I think he's a net positive, and my reasoning for that is I think that anybody that is going to take gear as a teenager, if say they don't look at Sam, they'll find somebody else to look at that'll motivate them to take gear. Like if you want to smoke weed, and your parents are like, oh, you know, don't smoke weed. You'll find a reason to smoke weed. Like, you know what I mean? So that's kind of how I feel about that. And I feel as long as the person is not like promoting PEDs, even if they look like a freak, look like whatever, I think if they're not promoting that on their channel, like telling them all the different drugs and shit that they take, I think it's perfectly fine. Now, do I think that it's all that his diet is like? No, I don't think his diet's good. But again, bringing back to like the other example I gave, how many people at 21 do have a good diet? How many people at 18 do have a good diet? Like if you, it's like the thing of if you want to eat junk, you're going to eat junk. Like, you know, you don't have to really convince somebody to not eat junk or to eat junk. To eat junk. So I think he's a net positive just due to the passion. He's going to bring more people lifting that would be sitting on the couch. Now, I can't say if he's going to bring more people taking PEDs or not. I don't know. I personally think that if somebody wants to do that, they're going to find a reason. That's just personally. Like, for example, when I grew up, there was like, you had Cali Muscle or whatever. And I don't like Cali Muscle now, but he was really muscle entertainment. But either way, but we all know Cali Muscle growing up the top ramen in prison. He was like, oh yeah, I'm natty, this and that. And I remember growing up like 14 years old when I started listening, I thought he was natty because I was like, he said he was natty. Well, why would he lie? So, but
you just didn't look like him because you were having too much sodium.
He had some beef with Chris Jones or something. You're not nasty, whatever, some shit like that. And when I found he wasn't natty, it didn't promote me to want to take PEDs. I was like, oh, okay, some dude that's not natty. Like, you have your own values, and like what this guy does, or what this IFBB Pro or Michael Hearn or Greg said, whoever else does, I don't think that should have an impact on if you decide to inject yourself with drugs. That's just personally my belief. I understand everybody doesn't have the same belief, but that's just the way that I look at it, and I feel like it's the same thing with Sam.
Yeah.
I think he's a net positive over a net negative.
Sure.
That's pretty much my argument. So, what do you guys think about it?
This might be like a weird comparison. It just came to my mind, but like I kind of see him as like, you guys know Nikocado Avocado?
Yeah.
So wait, how is this gonna compare?
I want to hear this.
Do you know who it is, Aidan?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like there's like a similarity there that they're both like doing something incredibly unhealthy and, you know, monetizing it very successful, and they're not talking about it and not like talking about the elephant in the room or whatever, and not trying to discourage people. But they're both. I see what you mean. Like they're both probably equally as unhealthy.
I would say. Oh, man. I feel like Sam Sulek. Well, Sam Sulek is not like a joke, and it's not like satire, and it's not like this weird like alternate reality game. Like Nikocado Avocado has got some fucking lore or something. It's like he can't just be like this goofy ass dude. Like there's something like weird there, right? But with Sam Sulek, like that's just him, I think. You know, Nikocado Avocado, I feel like is kind of a character, kind of like a
you're right.
Entertainment.
He is playing a character, yeah.
Right.
But like Sam Sulek, that's just his life. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But they're both.
I'm not
I'd say they're probably equally unhealthy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, that's just some funny thing that came to my mind. But in terms of the about whether or not he's like a net positive or a net negative, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I haven't watched his video, so I should probably watch
I would
some
say
to
he's
like
neutral.
get the vibe. So I can't like agree or disagree with Herc just yet. But yeah, I like it is just interesting to think like whether these people have any sort of like moral obligation to try and steer people down the right path. But you know, obviously, I'm coming at it from my like perspective where like all I do on YouTube is try and convince people not to take steroids. So you know, when I see someone who's kind of I don't know, just so obviously doing it and not addressing it, like in my ideal world, all of these people would be on YouTube saying, you know, kind of like there's a couple of these people, you know, like Larry Wheels or whatever, and even Greg Doucette, to be honest. Like Greg Doucette has a very consistent anti-PED message on YouTube. Like anytime he talks about PEDs, he's pretty much discouraging people from taking
Let's get
them.
Greg on the podcast.
So
Yeah.
you know,
That was,
yeah, I just wonder,
Put
like,
him in the middle.
is there any sort of moral obligation for these guys to try and discourage people from taking this stuff? I think in an ideal world, it would be great if they were all trying to educate their audiences to not take PEDs. But
Right.
you know, I suppose not everyone comes at it from that.
I see it kind of
mindset.
like cigarettes. You know, it's like it's just one of those things. You know, like some people are going to want to do it, and then I'm not going to understand it. Well, with steroids, I understand more because there's like these benefits and stuff that come with the risks. But I mean, I guess there's benefits to cigarettes, like it feels good or whatever. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Dante, actually, sorry to cut you
no,
you
you're
off,
good.
Aidan.
That was pretty much the end of that.
All right, so actually, you made a pretty good point in comparing Greg Doucette to Sam Sulek, because what I see is for Sam Sulek, right? You can only say that he has a bad influence in terms of his PED use, which, I mean, the only way, seeing as he doesn't really talk about it or promote it, the only way you can say that he has a bad influence is because unconsciously you're basically processing like that is a normal body, quote unquote, or that is an achievable body, which it's not because he's on PEDs, right? For Greg, he says he's anti-PED, but then sometimes has like these black pilled statements. So
Right.
he kind of black pills you in the message instead of in the kind of unconscious processing parts, which Sam Sulek like presumably does, right? So I think in terms of that, Greg is a worse influence, I would say, than Sam Sulek, at least.
You're right. Outright, Greg is very clear, and when he says that people shouldn't take PEDs,
But then he thinks Max Ucita is
exactly, yeah, and then but at the same time he'll be blackpilling people and be like, anyone who has like an above average physique is like, you can't get that natural, you know, you have to use PEDs if you want to get to that level, unless you have like, you know, 0.001% genetics or
unless you have my genetics,
yeah.
and you can't do
Bro,
it.
we all have like
Unless you buy his cookbook.
0.00001 genetics on this podcast, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I think that's a
you should
good
buy his
idea.
cookbook.
Oh, you go ahead, Aidan.
No, I'm fucking around. You go.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah. What is your name, Tristan or Tristan?
Tristan.
Tristan. Yeah, I agree with what Tristan said. That's a good way of putting it. I think that you got someone like Sam who you say his physique exudes not natural. But at the same time, I guess part of why I empathize with him is that people look at me and they don't believe me. So it's like, where do we draw the line of?
You almost get the same experience.
Yeah, when you reach a certain level of muscularity, are you just supposed to just be like, all right, well, you know, I know you don't believe me, but you know what I mean? Like, where's the line? Like, we've obviously seen someone like Sam or Michael Hearn, but like, where's the line? And I see this line told a lot, especially like in the natural fitness community where, you know,
I would say
like
the line is around where you are, around where like GVS is, and
exactly
maybe
GBS.
I think you two guys are probably the best example where like if someone's like 15 pounds bigger than you guys, then I'm like, what? Okay, I don't know about that.
And
you know what I mean? Yeah, like if someone's like 240 lean at 6 foot, that I think that's across the line.
No questionable.
Yeah, and
question.
I
honestly,
think
like,
you guys though are like on that line, like top tier work ethic, top tier genetics, like top tier everything. Like that can get you that like 225, 19-inch arms at 6 foot. I think that's like top of the line. I mean, maybe there's like a few outliers that are like above that, but that's pretty much like kind of the line I've seen.
and if the guy is like openly saying that he wants to be like a professional open bodybuilder, like anyone with half a
Right.
brain is gonna know
Exactly.
that part of that process is taking PEDs. Like there's just no other way around about it, right? So anyone who has like a minimum amount of knowledge about, bodybuilding and stuff knows what's up with that. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound like he's trying to hide it or claim natural or anything like that. That I would have a problem with, obviously. But
Yeah, same here.
yeah, interesting. Well, yeah, I mean, we've done about 25 minutes of Sam Sulek, so
I got another topic.
We did him good justice.
yeah. Okay, Aidan, you wanna hit us with another topic?
So I watched this Alexander Bromley. You ever seen his channel or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he did a video about like it was the Colorado experiment or something.
Yeah,
And
with
it was
him.
kind of that. Yeah,
Is that
you watched that?
The prison
Yeah,
one?
I watched the whole thing. I watched the whole thing.
I watched
So yeah,
it.
it's like
I haven't seen the
I
video.
was always
but
wondering. Mike Mentzer and people that are like similar to him and preach a similar thing. They have like a very, very like rabid fanboy like fan base. They're gonna attack me for just like pointing that out, right? That's not even like my gripe, but a lot of those people, they never like show their progress. They never show. They're just like no profile picture people. They're like, yeah, Mike Mentzer's methods, blah blah blah. I don't know how he got so popular when he was like just saying everything against what literally everyone else did, and he was like the only one saying that shit. So I don't know how people believe that stuff, but
Yeah. Also, Aidan, let's talk about like the Colorado experiment for
yeah, if you could
Dante,
like
because
explain
I
the
don't.
video
Yeah.
a little bit.
oh yeah.
Yeah. So basically, they had one guy, which he was a former IFBB pro or something like that, or
Oh,
pro
is this
bodybuilder.
the guy where he put on like a ridiculous amount of muscle?
That guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen the
So-
pictures, yeah.
Right.
Sorry, go
And so
ahead.
Bromley kind of talked about how the whole experiment was bullshit, because they were talking about how, first of all, he didn't use PEDs, which, I mean, he had used PEDs in the past. He talked about that. Maybe he didn't do it in the experiment, but like, come on, he already used PEDs once, so why not, right? So that was one point. The second point was something about how he was on like not enough calories to gain the weight that he gained, which
Like physically
that's,
impossible
like,
for him to gain
physically
that much weight.
impossible.
Right.
Yep.
Right. So either that guy was lying and he was having extra meals in between, somewhere in the day, or the who was it that conducted the experiments? I forgot his name. Arthur Jones, was it?
No.
Yeah. Either he was lying or the other guy was lying, right? So it had to be one of them. And his training too, which was, I can't
Was
quite
it
really.
all machines or something?
It was weird. It was all hits, right? I
So
believe.
was
Like
the
one
point of the
set.
experiment to prove like the effectiveness of high
doing
intensity
one
training?
set.
Indeed.
Okay,
Yes.
Right.
And how often was it? Was it like one set for a muscle like every like 3 or 4 days or something? Like something crazy.
I think so. It's hard for me to remember. It was something. It was like really low volume and like minimal variety.
And they were also, Alexander Bromley talked about how people said that he snuck out at night to go to the gym to get in extra work because it wasn't working, which is just like he couldn't verify if it was true.
Funny.
Yeah, he couldn't verify if it was true, but if it was, I mean, that's hilarious, right? So basically, the whole experiment was just, kind of a scam, and it wasn't really any good evidence. And Mike Mentzer quoted it in one of his lectures before, but then later he retracted everything he said about it. So even he knew that it was kind of bullshit. So.
But Mike Mentzer never realized that what he was saying was kind of bullshit either.
Right.
He's trying to save his own ass. Be like, oh god,
Okay.
that was so bad, I can't even associate with that.
Right. I think Mike Mentzer had a really good. I think you just mentioned that, no, like the cult of personality sort of thing, like just the way he spoke. Because I
he had an awesome physique, and he was a good looking dude, but like
I listened
guys.
to one of his tapes not that long ago, and I like heard him speak for the first time. And yeah, man, like I was almost drinking the Kool-Aid. I was like,
He was like, "You want to do one set?"
I was like, God damn, this guy's onto something.
If you do one set, you build 50 pounds of muscle.
It was like, it reminded me of I rewatched Steve Jobs presenting like the very first iPhone in like 2008 or something. Like I watched his whole like Apple presentation, and he's like presenting this like shitty ass phone with like a 3-inch screen, but he was doing such a good job. I was like, God damn, I gotta get myself one of these phones. I was like, so yeah, that's I guess that's how Mike Mentzer is. He's just like really good at convincing people that he's got something good. Right. Yeah, he's a really good salesman, and I suppose he's, you know, showing a good example. But, you know, just because he was able to achieve that with his combination of, you know, genetics and PEDS and whatever, doesn't mean that those same methods are going to work for anyone else, right?
Yeah, and I think another interesting, because, you know, whenever you hear about HIIT, who do you always hear about? Like Mike Mentzer and Dorian Yates. But then you actually look at Dorian Yates' routine. Dorian Yates didn't even do HIIT the way that Mike said it. He did like 14 sets a week or 15 sets a week per body part. But if you listen to like Mike Mentzer, he's like, you can only do one set to failure, and you need all this recovery.
Every 27 days.
Yeah, 20. Who the fuck? Like, but anyway, like you actually hear like people that they tout as beacons of HIIT. They didn't even do it the way that Mike Mentzer said it should be done. So it's like, okay, you know, are you supposed to do it this way, or were the other people wrong? And then obviously, you know, like you guys said, I think he really was just doing it just to promote, you know, just to sell shit at the end of the day. Because like with the Casey guy, the guy's name was Casey Jones. They did the Colorado experiment. They like starved him beforehand. Then they like
he was like 160.
Do what?
He was like 160 when they started it, or something, or 165.
And he was a bodybuilder before, right? So that's crazy.
And he was a previous bodybuilder. He was they like untrained him for like multiple months or whatever. Probably took him off PEDs, who knows what else. And then I would imagine they probably reintroduced all of that. And if you know anything about like water retention, especially if you're like if you used to be a bigger dude, you can lose a lot of weight in just like a couple of days of like manipulating like your sodium and water and stuff.
Like 20 pounds.
Exactly. So, you know, I think that's what really happened. And Arthur Jones, being the businessman he was like, all right, let's sell it to the masses. You know, your general person in the population doesn't know a whole lot about fitness. You know, they don't know a whole lot about what people actually, what it actually takes to get a good physique and work out and shit like that. So you tell them, oh yeah, 50 pounds in a month, they'll be like, oh shit! Sign me up on your program, Mr. Arthur Jones.
Was this the equivalent of like 70% of doctors recommend Camel cigarettes?
But worse. Exactly. Oh yeah. Basically that.
I wonder. I feel like you mentioned that in the video too.
On testosterone. Okay, all right. I'm gonna stop beating up on Greg.
What harder than last time? The sexual performance pill.
What?
You seen that?
What? No.
You have to fill us
in. We'll tell you later. It's so silly.
Oh god.
He sells boner pills.
Okay.
Oh no, he doesn't
say that on podcast.
Guy, bro.
Yes, he does.
Harder than
last time.
I've basically blocked him on everything. I don't see anything he does anymore. I was so done with that guy.
I kind of like him in a weird way now. I don't know what happened. Like my brain did like a 180, and I kind of find him entertaining now.
He's like a guilty pleasure.
Fair enough.
Yeah, maybe.
Aidan, you remember I sent you that back to school post that he did, where like I don't know if you guys saw this.
It's like G-test, right?
Yeah. So he put like this community post, and it's like back to school sale, and it's like with this like cartoony like font, like literally like
Target thing.
Like it looks like it's for like middle schoolers, you know, like back to school sale, and it's like 30% off with code back to school on G test and G, you know, whatever, like the test booster and the other ones. I don't even remember what they were called, but like the guy's like, it's, I mean, he's not explicitly saying it, but it's the graphic is like he's advertising test boosters to children, you know, on his community page. Like,
He's a hardest
back
salesman.
to
That's
school
what it is.
sale, 30% off G test. It's like, come on, man.
Pretty weird.
Like, that just looks so bad. Why would you do that?
Right.
Like,
I don't think. Okay,
Doesn't
here's
care.
what I think. I don't think he did that intentionally, but I think he also doesn't have like a sales or like a marketing team that like knows what they're doing, like helping him. So he just kind of like did that, and he just like fucked up.
but
probably.
maybe like someone else put that together for him, and like he never even posted it. Maybe he never even saw it, you know, like because obviously he's got a team, right? Like he's not...
Yeah, but I mean, damn, like who? Why would you hire someone that would do
But yeah,
that?
I don't know. Like, it just looks so bad. Like, whoever put that on his channel, whether it was him or someone else, like, this back to school with, like, little cartoony characters and, like, you know,
That's
for
crazy.
G-test, like, testosterone booster for, like, kids. I don't know. That just, that was a really stupid post. I can't believe he put that up, but...
Take your Cheerios in the morning and take your test.
Yeah, take your G-test.
Yes, and then go to school and take your other test.
In the school bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, before we move on to another topic, one thing I did want to mention on here is that I've actually opened up a new channel. So I've got a Spanish
one.
channel. Yeah, if you guys, the listeners, any of you who are Spanish or Latin American, if you look up Natty Life ES, like Espanol, then you'll find my channel where we're just uploading videos dubbed in Spanish, essentially. So, you know, any Spanish viewers on here, please go support that new project. My girlfriend's taking care of all of that, so she's dubbing it with her voice. And yeah, it's really cool. So go check it out, any Spanish listeners. But yeah. You guys got...
I just want to point out that I was like your 4th subscriber on that channel.
Thank you, bro.
Nice.
Number 1 supporter. Oh, Aidan, also, you gonna tell us what's up with this like new look you got? What's up with the new look?
Oh yeah. So I was just getting pissed at like my hair. I would like wake up in the morning and I would like look at it in the mirror a bunch and like just spend time trying to get it to look right. I would like push it down. I would like push it to the side, and I was like, you know what? I had a buzz cut like 2 years ago, and I felt really good with that. So then I did it again, and now I'm just.
Did you do one of those lockdown haircuts?
What do you
Like
mean?
2 years. You said 2 years ago you had a buzz cut. So was it like
Oh,
a
no.
lockdown thing? Because I did that.
No.
Like, we couldn't go to the hairdresser, so I like just
Oh,
shaved
really?
my head off. Yeah, that was the one time in my life that I did it.
I just felt like doing it just because. I mean, if I didn't have the beard thing going on, I wouldn't do this. But like with the beard, I feel like it looks like a decent combo.
Is this just your way to try and look a little bit more like Herc?
Yeah. Low key.
He's prepared,
Yeah,
bro.
next time you paint your skin black.
Yeah.
Get the bodybuilding tan.
That's right, bodybuilding tan. That's right. Right.
Yeah.
No man, he walks it real good. He got that. You get the beard and your jack, man. You walk into the gym. I know the ladies be all up on age.
Yeah.
So you want to hit us up with a topic, Aidan? You got one for us?
I wanted to say that. So I was talking about like all the like I was gonna deadlift 600 in like a month and all that.
Yeah. How's that going?
And that has all gone to shit because in the first 2 weeks of this peaking program, I have felt that I desperately need a deload. So that's not going to happen now for probably another like 2.5 months.
Oh.
Just wanted to bring that up in case anyone gave a shit.
So,
But also, I was wondering, like, do you guys deload, or are you guys on that train where like, oh, I never deload because NH said he never deloads?
shots fired.
Yeah. So
So
I just want to know, do each of you guys ever just take like a week where you go easier, or because it's either, I mean, from my experience, it's either that happens or like it happens when you're sick and you really can't go hard. So
Yeah. So I can start this off if you want, because I sort of took a deload today. Sort of. Like I was. I mean, it wasn't planned. But...
Deload.
So okay, let me explain. So, I was gonna go for a deadlift single, and it just didn't really go as planned. I didn't hit, and
This is the same thing that happened to me.
Triss's
Right?
deload is like
Essentially.
missing one rep.
Shit, it is what it is. Yeah, I missed the rep, and it was like, well, should have had that. Crap. And so what I did was, instead of deadlifts, I did RDLs, and I have been aiming for a 3-plate RDL for a while now, and I haven't hit it as a top single yet. But then, sorry, as a top set, right?
Yeah.
So today, I just thought, fuck it. I already tried the deadlift thing. It
You
didn't
already
work.
deloaded, so
Right? Guess I'm gonna just go for a 3-plate RDL, and I hit it right for 6
There you
reps.
go.
It was pretty good.
Nice.
So, how I deload is kind of when I just don't feel it, I rotate variations or I do less sets, because today I only did 2 sets of RDLs and I was kind of done after that. I didn't really feel that any more would be productive. So
True.
yeah, I just took it easier. That for me, that's already a deload. Just taking it a bit easier, not
Hopefully-
necessarily lightening
Hopefully
the
for
load.
a couple days though, right? Unless you feel like
Yeah,
amazing
yeah,
tomorrow
right.
somehow. But
Right, yeah. If
Yeah.
I really feel like crap, I'm just gonna take it a bit easier on everything. But I rarely have that happening because I'm not that strong yet, so I'm good for that.
So
What about you, Herc?
What do you?
Yeah. Oh boy, I'm gonna give the unpolitical correct answer again. Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. I really just auto regulate. So if I feel like more beat up on a certain day, I'll just go lighter. I mean,
Right.
so I don't really have like planned deloads unless like this year I'm probably gonna try maybe like January, just take a week off just to let my joints and shit rest a little bit. But I've never really been a big deload guy. I'm kind of like, if I feel good, I'm strong, got my energy. Like, it's rare that I feel like shit in the gym. So, but if I do, like if I didn't get a lot of sleep at class, something like that, then I'll just go lighter or just do a little bit less in that workout. And, that's my form of a deload. So.
Same for me, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I feel like it just kind of happens naturally. Like either I get sick or like I go on vacation or whatever, and something just happens and it ends up like turning into a deload for whatever reason. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never planned a deload where I'm like, I'm gonna train for 4 weeks and then I'm not gonna train for a week. Like no, never done it like that. But one way or another, life always seems to throw a deload at me. So I guess I'm more of on the unplanned deload.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I want to be clear, by the way.
Me too. I don't plan them in advance.
Right, and I want to be clear because, like, for the 3 of us at least, we're not training specifically for a single or for strength, right? I just did that deadlift single because I wanted to deadlift today. It is what it is. And Aidan, I know, is following like a peaking program, right? So he needs to deload after that. If I were to follow like a proper strength program, I would deload, obviously. So it depends on your goals as well.
Yeah. So Aidan, what happened that made you feel like you need to take a deload?
So I was supposed to have like singles that were ramping up each week. And you know how I did the RDL, the 495 for 6. So I didn't even feel good that day, right? Like my best day was when I did the 475 for 8, and I felt like I could have done another rep or maybe even 2. That day I felt like peak strength, just veins were popping, everything felt good. And then after that, I just started to kind of fall off, and then I still had to try that 5-plate RDL because I just told so many people I was doing it. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just do it. Didn't even feel good.
Oh, did we lose?
So
Aidan?
the 6th rep was like the most grindy deadlift rep I've ever done. Did we? Did you lose me?
No, you're just lagging for a sec, but I can hear you. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, you're good now.
What was the last thing you heard?
We heard everything.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So it had me doing a 4x4 conventional deadlift with 440, which wasn't too bad, right? But also I've been doing RDLs so long that like my technique on conventional might have been a little crappier. Shout out to AI training for pointing that out. But so then I had a single a couple of days later at 515, and I was like, oh, 515, like I just RDL'd 495 for 6. 515 should be like RP 7, should be fucking easy. And then I put that on and it feels like shit. And it feels like I could not have added maybe 15 more pounds. And then I'm like, all right, there's no way I'm going to feel good enough next week to do the 535 single. And then the week after that was going to be a 555 single. So I was like, I just can't do this yet. So I'm going to start over with like
take a little more time.
Lighter strength block that like ramps up from like the fucking bottom, like 335 for like a 3x5. And then it's going to like go up each session from there. So
yeah, that makes sense. Well, yeah, I hope that goes well for you, bro. Yeah, I know you were pretty excited for that deadlift, so I'm sure you'll get it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll get it.
Yeah, I'm a little bummed, but I'll try to be patient.
Yeah. We brought up NH earlier briefly. I don't know if you guys saw, I think it's his most recent video where he was talking about this guy called MovementbyDavid.
Yeah.
Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I got recommended one of his videos.
Yeah.
Right. It was crazy, right? So I sent that video in the Discord and I was like, yo, this is a pretty good video. Like, I don't necessarily agree with the title or anything, but what he said in the video, and I'm talking about the MovementbyDavid guy, right?
What did he say?
I think the title was something like "How I'm Skinny but Strong," but in the video he goes way more in depth about like
flexibility.
his reason for training.
Could we just quickly explain who the MovementbyDavid guy is? Because maybe Herc doesn't know, and maybe in the audience people don't know. So
good point. Who is that?
Do you want to explain, Tris, or should I?
You go ahead, please.
So it's basically this guy on YouTube who got very famous, I think on shorts mainly. I've seen quite a few of his shorts. And he's got like, I don't know, like millions of subscribers or something at this point. And basically,
2 million?
Yeah, what he does is he's like just like a mobility guy. Like he wants to be like really flexible and really stretchy. So he does like splits and like all these like his training is basically stretching and like becoming really flexible, right? So he's like kind of like this functional training kind of guy, and like he talks a lot about my training is not to look pretty, it's to be like functionally strong and like really stretchy and flexy and stuff.
Well, he's not really strong. He's kind of like, he can like do pull-ups with his own body, but he also weighs like 140. Like I'm not even like giga strong or anything. I'm pretty strong, right? But like if you need someone to pick up some heavy shit, like he's not like strong. Like he's not gonna be able to do that.
Yeah, and so that was like
you would get like me or Herc or like Chris, you like, but like the 140-pound flexible guy. I mean, it's functional if you only need to move your own body, but like sometimes it's like you have to like pick up some heavy bags or something.
Yeah, so that was
you ain't gonna call him when you need to move your washer and dryer. You ain't doing that.
No, what is he gonna do?
He's gonna like do the splits on them.
Stretch.
So yeah,
and that's not to shit on him, but I'm just saying like the word strong is like incorrect there, I think.
Yes.
Right. And I think also the word functional.
That's what
is
sparked.
Functional meaning functional for what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what sparked NH to make the video, is because he made a video saying like, what was it, like, I don't look strong but I am strong, or what was it, Tris, the title of his video? Do you remember?
The title of NH's video?
No, the title of David's video.
Oh, How I'm Skinny but Strong.
Yeah, How I'm Skinny but Strong. So he was claiming that he's like, this like sleeper that looks just super skinny, but really he's like a strong guy.
And that does exist.
And
yes, that does exist.
But it's not him. He's not strong at all.
But I do want to say this, like for NH to have a video about this is very like, it was very unprovoked, because if you actually like listen to the video and watch the video, right? I completely agree with everything that guy says. He says, I don't train for aesthetics. The way I train is not good for aesthetics because I do lower reps for certain movements that are not that great for hypertrophy, right? And I just have different goals than a bodybuilder, and that's okay because different goals, different people, right? Or different people, different goals. And I completely agree with that. So with everything he said in the video, I agree.
The title was just clickbait.
The title, right? The title was stupid. But then for NH to make like a 30-minute video about just like, this guy is terrible because he had a bad title. I'm like, bro, like, it's not that deep. I believe. Like,
wait, he said he's terrible?
Sorry?
What did NH say about David? That's what I'm wondering.
Man, yeah, he had 30 minutes of roasting
Roasted
to do. Sort of. I mean, yeah.
He was like, I'm sick of these skinny nerds. I think that's what the title of NH's video
Bro, like
was.
half of NH's subscribers are skinny nerds.
He's like, I'm
Yeah.
sick of these skinny nerds at, Movement by David, like tagging him in the title. Like,
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But like, also NH made some good points. Like, okay, I saw him talk about grip strength, and it's like, you don't have grip strength, so why are you talking about this? Leave that alone. Stay in your lane. Agreed.
Who talked about
but then,
David.
sorry.
And so
I
believe
NH was
David. I
saying
didn't
how
see that,
David
though.
is kind of like creeping into trying to give advice for bodybuilders and trying to give advice for people who do want to get strong or people who do want to train for aesthetics. And he was trying to
do
stay.
that first.
Yeah,
if he
NH
wants
was
to
like,
do that.
you're the stretchy guy. Like, tell people how to stretch
Yeah.
and like, don't talk about like how to get aesthetic.
Well, that's fair. It's like, teach people the thing that you already figured out how to do. Like, if he doesn't know he obviously doesn't know how to look bigger, so
Yeah.
he can't teach that.
I think less than like an attack on the David guy, it was maybe a bit more of a critique generally of these like functional fitness guru kind of people who think they're like these know-it-alls that, just can give advice to anyone
On anything.
because,
Yeah.
they do functional fitness. And so, they know everything about powerlifting and bodybuilding and arm wrestling and whatever and CrossFit.
Yeah.
I don't know. He was just, I think he kind of like poo-poos people who train for aesthetic a little bit in his videos.
Does he really?
Like,
He didn't seem like it in the video that went viral. The one about
exactly.
you being strong.
Like, he might do that in the short. I haven't seen enough of him to know that, but from what I've seen in that video, at least, that video is great. Like, it's a very good video, and I'm glad that went viral. It's a good video.
yeah. No, I mean, it's, totally fair. Obviously, like, if he wants to be the stretchy guy, like, he can be the stretchy guy, right? Like,
all
he
power
doesn't
to
need,
him.
like, not everyone needs to be a bodybuilder. But yeah, it is, I think NH was also kind of critiquing, like, how probably a large part of his audience might not really understand the goals that they're going for. Like, they're watching him and they're thinking that, like, by watching him, they're going to achieve a certain kind of physique or whatever. And I don't know. He was just trying to get him to like stay in his lane and like be the stretchy guy and not like get into the bodybuilding sphere and the aesthetic sphere. I
Well,
don't
he
know.
can
What
get
do
into
you
it,
guys
but
think
he has to like pay his dues. Like, he has to do it himself.
Yeah.
And then you can talk about it. You know what I mean? But as he is now, like he's good at pull-ups with his body weight, which that's cool. He's good at the stretching. He's good at like pistol squats and all the stuff that just requires your body weight. But I mean, outside of that, it's like no hypertrophy there, no like absolute strength. So he needs to if he wants to talk about that, he can do like a little, hey, here's my journey, whatever. But like he can't really like teach that yet,
Yeah.
Right. But it's kind of just unfair, I believe, of NH to... He's basically cloud chasing. Let's be very honest. Like, the way that he tagged him and everything. He could have just talked about it in general. Like, oh, I saw this guy talk about it, and that sparked me to talk about fitness and blah, 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 and this whole flexibility movement. But then he really, like... what's it called? He soloed him out, basically.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I mean... It was unprovoked. So
were you gonna say
I
Herc
don't...
too? Sorry to interrupt you, Tris.
Yeah, no worries.
I just saw Herc. His face lit up at the same time as you, so
Right.
I think he had something.
Tell us, Herc. Tell us, Herc.
Well, no, I've been talking too much this whole time, so that's why I'm just listening to you guys.
Nah, man, there is no too much.
Yeah, no, it's not bad.
That's why you're here, bro.
Yeah. What do you think?
But yeah, just from here, I think I have a pretty good idea of what the whole situation is just from hearing you guys talk about it. I think that's a good way of putting it. I think that in general, you do want to talk more about things that you've actually done and that you have some skin in the game about. Like, I'm not going to sit up here and talk about flexibility and stretch. I don't know shit about that. Like, I'm not even going to lie to you. Like, I'm sick as hell. I probably need to watch some more of these videos.
True.
But I do, and like going off of the functional fitness thing, I do think that, you know, people throw that word out, but functional really just means what are you training for? Like if you, like functional for a runner, for example, it's not going to be the same thing that's functional for a bodybuilder, functional for somebody that's in the calisthenics or whatever the case may be. So I don't think we can just say, oh, well, this person trains for aesthetics, so it's not functional. To train for aesthetics, you have to get stronger. You know what I mean? So that's functional. You know, to train as a power lifter, you got to get stronger. That's functional. So, or calisthenics, you know, even that's functional bodybuilding. So, and as far as like NH calling out, I'm being honest, I don't watch a whole lot of NH, mainly because like I see like a 2-hour long synopsis on the philosophy of fucking, you know, doing rows or whatever it is, and that kind of just turns me off. I'm sure, you know, that's nothing against his channel. You know, I'm sure, you know, I know he gives out great information, stuff like that. But so I really don't know a whole lot about his channel and stuff like that, other than, you know, what I've seen. But yeah, he probably was, you know, clout chasing a bit. But yeah, that's just my whole take on the whole functional aesthetic thing.
Yeah, I think I guess I don't know if David is actually like guilty of you know, trying to discourage people from training for aesthetics, but there definitely is like a group of these like functional training gurus where it's like
Mario Rios.
Yeah, like,
oh god,
you know, yes. I'm doing my kettlebell swings and whatever, and like, you know, anyone who's just doing curls is like just this like vain asshole who's just training to have bigger biceps. Like, how dare you?
You gotta stand up.
Like, they probably want the bigger biceps even when they're doing the kettlebell swing. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
Oh god. And you gotta stand up doing curls, because then you train the core, right? Because if you sit down, no core. Just
yeah.
Man, if that's your core training, that's not good.
Right.
Yeah, that does annoy me quite a lot. And yeah, for sure. I mean, like, what is even the definition of functional? Like, the only thing you could actually call functional training is if you're training specifically for a sport. Like, that's functional. Yes. Or like you have some kind of job that requires you to have a certain function for your job.
Sorry to cut you off, Dante, because like for me, functionality, right? I sometimes have to carry like these beer kegs that are like 50 kilos or something. So for me to have muscle, that's great, because that's functional. I can carry those kegs to like the place where I gotta store them, right? So that's very functional for me. For some people that are sitting down the whole day, I guess bodybuilding isn't functional for them, quote unquote, but like
it's better than nothing though.
Yeah.
Like
bodybuilding gives you good for your health too. So
especially natural bodybuilding, because you're not going to become like muscle bound naturally.
Yeah.
So like we just from doing like lifting and stuff like that. I mean, I used to do martial arts and stuff, so I'm pretty flexible just in general, automatically, but I mean, just from like what we do with the lifting and stuff, we're more functional than like someone who's doing absolutely jack shit.
For sure.
Like,
100%. And you know,
and
these people
stronger.
Who are like, you know, they're doing their kettlebell swings and their bear crawls and stuff, and it's like, this is making me into like a superhuman. It's like,
but what is it functional for? Like functional as in like day-to-day life? Like, what do you do in day-to-day life that requires you to swing shit?
You know, you sit in an office all day, and when are you gonna bear crawl, bro?
Right.
Yeah, like when are you gonna need to swing a fucking kettlebell up? Like what? When you go to your water cooler at your office, and you're gonna have to swing your desk up to.
So these people are just living in this like fantasy where they're like, you know, doing this kind of functional training.
Yeah.
But unless
if it's functional for a sport,
unless you're doing a sport or a job or whatever that requires you to have those skills, it's just such a stupid argument. Like, just say I'm trained like this because I enjoy it and this is how I want to train. And if you want to train a different way, that's great. You know, but you don't got to be like, no, you can't like train your biceps, because when are your biceps ever going to help you, you know, escape a burning building? You got to do bear crawls so you can crawl underneath the beams and stuff. Like, I don't know. That's just such a stupid argument for like this, you know, weird way of training. If that's how you want to train, then great. If you enjoy it, and, you know, like all the CrossFit people and whatever, if you enjoy doing that, then do it just for its sake, just for the sake of that kind of training, because you enjoy it. And you don't need to have this, you know, ulterior explanation, and you don't need to, you know, discourage people from training for their own goals, you know?
Right. I tell you, another thing that you see a lot is people like see the comments of like somebody that like trains for aesthetics. They're like, but you can't fight though.
Yeah. I see that.
What's up with that?
Oh my God.
I don't want to fight you.
They have guns. You don't need that. It's like 2500 BC. You don't have to. It's not the old big man in the tribe. He's the one that, like, no, motherfucker. Like that. You know, that's all stuff that's just so crazy.
I will say this: if there is a guy who is smaller that also doesn't know how to fight, you have the fucking strength and size advantage, right? So yeah, I can't beat a boxer, but I can probably beat a normal dude that's the same weight as me with no muscle.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Right.
Especially since I used to train martial arts for like 7 years.
It's like this idea that building muscle is going to hurt you as an athlete and as a fighter, which I don't know why people have that, because it's like really old where that it comes from, like, you know, I guess you say like the early times before people knew about lifting weights and strength and conditioning, that you get muscle bound.
Look at Mike Tyson, bro. Mike Tyson was jacked.
Yeah.
He was jacked.
He was like,
it didn't hold him back.
Like what I weighed. He was like 220.
Bro.
Yeah,
but
it didn't hold him back.
It didn't hurt him back. It didn't hurt him.
So
on that video I made about why Bronze Era lifters had flat chests, we've already discussed this in depth. But apart from all the comments about like the primates where they're like, gorillas have flat chests, so like why would you want to build a chest? Apart from that, the other like top comment that I get on there like daily still now, like months later, every day, I'm getting the comments about the fighters. They're like, yeah, they didn't have small chests because they were ready to fight at any time, and like having a big chest, that doesn't help you throw a punch. So like, why would you ever want a big chest? It's just gonna like hold you back in a fight. I get these comments every single day on that video, every day.
That's someone with no muscle trying to cope, because having a small chest is the one thing they have in common with those guys.
Yeah.
They go, well, my biceps are smaller. Everything else looks worse. His chest looks like mine, though, so maybe my chest is good. Like, that's what they're thinking.
And also, he has like 2 months of experience of MMA or kickboxing or something. So, like, you know, Dunning-Kruger effect.
Yeah.
It's like
if someone's been doing that for like years, then what were you saying?
Oh no, what'd you say?
I was just saying, if someone's been doing like MMA or any kind of martial art for like years, then that means something. But yeah, there's some people they do it for like a few months, and they
wouldn't shit on that.
Okay, so
they wouldn't shit on building muscle. Basically, those guys. Sorry, don't say.
Just as a little funny experiment, so I went on the video and I searched for the keyword fight. It makes a lot of sense considering most professional sport fighters don't have bulging pecs. They just aren't useful. Here's another one. Americans. The Greek and Roman statues depicted warriors, men who could march all day in full armor, fight a battle, then built a fortified camp to eat and sleep in, which will be burned the next day. Big pecs were a detriment to them, not an asset.
A detriment? Okay, at the very least, maybe it doesn't help, but like, it's not a detriment.
Let me finish this because this one's good.
They died at 40 fucking years old. That's the detriment.
Bench press for real? Imagine a Roman legionary lying on a bench lifting weights. The centurion would be on his case in seconds. Greeks and Romans were training for function, not show. They were athletes. They could run, they could lift, they could throw, they could wrestle and look good while doing it.
Get a little weird at the end there because I thought it wasn't about aesthetics.
If you're fighting with swords and spears, it's all shoulders. Chest is used minimally. Greeks and Romans were warriors. Big chest is pointless in a fight with a sword. Period.
Don't bring a chest to a sword fight.
Anyway, I could go on with these, but yeah, that's like, I get those comments all the time.
Oh no, already lost the fight, bro. Already lost the fight.
How are so many people Roman warrior pills? What the fuck? Bro, I always advise Roman warriors.
Photo to like all that is like if that was the case, because people always go back to well back in the day, people were just so much tougher and stronger, everything. Like these people died at like 40 years old. They died from like the common cold. So are we really getting our advice of what we want to do before modern medicine of people that had no ability to even ward off fucking chicken pox?
Yeah, we may as well reply to that guy like, the Roman legion also wasn't like keyboard warrioring on his iPhone, right? Like, how dare you,
Bro, and the funny thing is,
like the fucking iPhone up. I'm gonna fuck you up, Carthage. You're gonna die.
And the funny thing is, I 100% know. I would literally bet money on this. If the Roman warriors were alive today, and we had the bench press, they would bench press 100%, 100% certain. Like that would be.
Why not? Because why would you want any one muscle to be like small on purpose? Like I've never like understood the thought of that.
Because it holds
I have small calves, but I don't want them to be small. Like they're just fucking small. That's not by design. It's not by design.
If you had big calves, you'd be so bad at kicking.
Yeah, true. I'd be really bad at kicking.
Okay, so I'll just read a couple more because I searched the word gorilla now in the comments. So it'll be like,
oh god,
ever seen a gorilla? Pecs are boobs, and boobs are for women. Okay. Gorillas are great examples. Their arms are massively disproportionate compared to their chest. Same things happen to gorillas. Have you noticed? That's the natural chest muscle development. Okay, this one's all caps, so it's got to be good. The problem with bench press, you end up with gorilla chest or boobs. Interesting. So this guy's saying that the gorillas have the big chest, and everyone else is saying that the gorillas have the flat chest. Unless you're on supplements to cut fat, only lean muscle is left, but it can only be temporary. I saw guys gorgeous 1 week and skinny following month. I rather do bronze period where my chest stays lean. Okay, yeah.
You'd rather not work out because you probably don't fucking work out if you're typing this shit.
fellas, there's only
time to do that. You could be in the gym getting a bigger chest.
Right, guys. There's only one thing we can do now.
Whatever.
There's only one thing we can do now.
What do we do?
What?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can't do
it.
Wait. Guys, come on.
Bouncing pecs. Yeah, there it is. Hey guys,
wait.
Oh, God.
I need to go for pee real quick. You guys, please keep the show going. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Got you. I got one last topic before I gotta bounce.
Yeah.
Let's
all right. I got work to get back to. But
no.
What are you guys' thoughts on science-based lifting? Like Unga Bunga or science-based? Like
I just ignore it for the most part. I mean, I look at the stuff if it's like a Jeff Nippard kind of thing, and like he makes it a little more digestible. But in terms of like reading studies and like EMG data and all that, like it just does not matter to me personally.
You don't watch the EMG stuff? How you gonna know what stuff to train, Aidan, if you don't watch the EMG?
I guess I'm just fucked.
What about you, Tristan?
So for me, actually, I have read a study. It was like a recent study on training to failure, I believe, for powerlifting and for hypertrophy. It was like half a year ago or something, and I read it in the Discord, and I actually like marked the pages. So if anyone is in the Discord, you can, I believe it's in like general lifting or something. You can look at the pinned comments, the pinned comments, and one is mine, and you can see how I read the study. Like, for the most part, studies are so flawed. You can always find a flaw in a study. For me, I don't remember that study quite well, but I do believe one of the things in the study was a meta-analysis, but then how they collected the data and the studies, they kind of said like, oh, we collected it from this and that, and then the other ones were sources that we found applicable. And it was like, okay, how do you find it applicable? Where did you find that? Why did you include that, right? So there's always a flaw in studies, and I guess it's a good basis for new research and to see this is how I would say it, right? So studies are a good point to see if the guys that have been doing it for a while, right? If what they're saying is backed by science, then okay, great, it's probably working. If it's not, then you can at least see that there's something going on there. Like either the science is flawed or the method is flawed, right? And most of the time, the science is flawed. Like 90% of the time, I would say.
Damn,
So it's just another tool. I am calling out science, but bro, there's like
Shots
I've
fired
read so
at
many,
science,
so many.
dude.
Yeah, but that's just because I've read a lot of flawed science. Like
science is shaking.
yeah, even like for me, right? I study psychology, and even they sometimes had studies where I was like, bro, this is not a good study. Like I'm reading this and it's not that
Trash.
good. Yeah, it's pretty trash.
Trash
Like the way that
study.
they conducted it.
Yeah.
So
it's a
I've seen a lot
science.
like that too.
No, you go ahead, Aidan. What were you gonna say?
No, I was just saying I've seen a lot of those bad studies too. And also like a lot of people like don't know what failure is. Just on that topic, there was like some thing they did where they took everyone like different people and said, okay, you're going to take what you can do like for 10 reps, but you're not going to do 10 reps. You're going to like go to failure. We're going to make sure you go to fucking failure, right?
27.
And like a lot, like more than half or about half of the people like got between like 16 to 20 reps or more.
It's insane. Yeah.
So it's
Wow.
like that many people were literally training like more than 6 reps away from failure on a set where they're like, yeah, this is like a good set. Well, that set didn't probably do anything. So
Yeah, I think you got to bring up both some really good points. The science, the studies are flawed, and also the people that are getting to do the studies are oftentimes beginners who don't know what actually training to failure or what putting in a certain amount of effort entails. So I think that really muddies the waters of what the studies show, and I even think that it's hard to extrapolate like even good data from these studies due to the fact that there's so many different variables that affect what can build muscle for you. You've got your genetics, you've got your your training volume, that's your intensity, you've got your experience level, you've even got your psychology. Like how do you some people just have a certain
the mindset.
way that they train that they're going to get more out of each rep just based on how their intention. Like we all have done sets and stuff like that where you just you're really all in and stuff like that. So
For sure.
I think I kind of look at science kind of like what Aidan said, like look at it for maybe just a little bit of entertainment or something like that, but you really can't use a lot of it, I'm not gonna say all of it, but a lot of it to dictate what you should do for your training in a building muscle sense, because there's just too many variables that can't be isolated to say, okay, this does this. So I think the best measure is kind of like, experiment for yourself, see what other people that are jacked do, and obviously you can't take all the word for it. Some of them had to do some stupid shit like my pink dumbbell 300-pound reps guy that I encountered, the last
God,
time.
Right, I remember
you
that.
encounter him, go with the fucking science. Avoid him like the plague. You encounter somebody that that.
Yeah.
Well, other than just somebody telling you some crazy stupid shit or whatever, I think the best course is just to experiment for yourself, and you can read some of the science studies, but you really can't let that dictate your whole training because there's just too many flaws within it.
Yeah, it can give you something to like test out, but like if it doesn't work out for you, don't assume like, oh, I fucked up. It's like maybe,
Right, I'm
maybe
not
that's
going against. I'm not going with science. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's like a good jumping off point maybe for some things, but
And
that's
like
pretty
in
much
any
it.
study, it's like it'll usually show the average, right? But there's always outliers, right? And how do you know which group you're in? Maybe you're in the 10% group, or maybe you're in the average group. You don't know.
Or
right?
the 1%, who knows?
Yeah, exactly. No, but I think Herc summed it up really well there. Like it's not an exact science. It's not a math. It's not like an equation.
It's not like astronomy.
Yeah.
Where this planet is exactly at these coordinates.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Like it's not like calculating an orbit or something, right? Where it's like an exact thing. Like, and especially when you talk about like RPE and whatever, and testing RPE on beginners, like that's just so difficult. Anyone who's seen beginners work out know that they have like no idea how to train hard and stuff. So
Right.
you know, I can just imagine when like scientists are like studying people like that, like that's a massive variable that's so difficult to actually account for properly. And it's like one of the biggest difference makers in your training. Like someone training 5 reps away from failure will have radically different results than someone training, you know, 1 rep away from failure. And it's so hard to actually account for that in a study. So,
and here's one thing in general about science, right? So this might be a bit of a hot take, but who cares? For me, I would rather listen to someone that is very proficient in the field that they are doing, whether it be like a psychologist, a mathematician, a bodybuilder, than the science that they base their methods on, right? Because they have strayed away from that science a bit to make it more applicable to what they're doing. And most of the time, it works way better than the science ever thought it would work.
Yeah, yeah, well said. I agree.
I'm saying, well, guys, I gotta bounce out of here. You guys can keep the thing going. I really enjoyed it.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on, bro. I really enjoyed having you, and yeah, I'm sure we'll be having you on again. So thank you so much for taking the time.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all.
Have a good one,
All
bro.
right.
Have a good one, bro. See you. All right.
Here we are.
Then there were 3.
Yes,
Can I use the
sir.
bathroom real quick too?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
All right. I will be right back.
All right, it's the Dante and Trish show.
What's up, brother?
Yeah, we finally got rid of all these losers. Now the the
dynamic
real
duo
podcast starts now.
Hell yeah. The dynamic duo is in the house.
Yeah. Well, do you got some topics for us, Tris, that we could
let's see.
get started with?
Right. Oh, I wanted to address this one. Okay. So I guess the topic would be called hard gainers.
Okay.
But more like there are no hard gainers. So, okay. Basically, just looking at it, I would be a hard gainer, technically. Because just this week, I walked 30K steps 3 days in a row. Because of my job, I just had to walk a lot. And I'm also 6 feet. I weigh around 83 kilos. So if you put that in a calorie counter, right? That isn't just a ridiculous number. That's not even fun to think about. And eating all that, I don't have a large appetite. So that should be very hard for me. But still, I gained weight this week. So, you know, everyone's saying, oh, I'm a hard gainer, and they're freaking 150 pounds eating 2,500 calories. Like, bro, don't add me, basically.
Yeah.
But I wanted to talk a bit about that. So what's been your experience with that?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I would have definitely called myself a hard gainer as well. I mean, I was always very skinny, and I never had much of an appetite, and I always thought it was hard for me to gain weight. You know, I used to weigh between 55 and 60 kilos as like an adult, you know, at like 180 centimeters, you know, like 5'11". So I was always like super skinny. And I did have trouble putting on weight, but at the end of the day, it's just like I wasn't eating enough food. Like, it's that simple, man. Like, you know, maybe I have a faster metabolism than other people, but like, what does that account for? Like 10%, 5% less? Like, I don't know. You know, at the end of the day, Aidan, the topic is hard gainers. At the end of the day, you're just not eating enough. Like, that's just what a hard gainer is, I think, is just a person who's just not eating enough food.
That's something that does come down to science too, because it's like you can only do so much wrong there. It's like if you increase your calories, like you're going to gain weight. How much of it is muscle? That's kind of up to like genetics, your training, all that. But like if you're literally not gaining like weight on the scale, then you're just not eating enough.
Yeah.
And then it could be because your activity's high, or it could be because your metabolism's fast, but like it's going to come down to that. So
right. And Aidan, I sent you my step log this week. So technically I should have a very high metabolism, right? And I also would classify myself as someone with a relatively high metabolism, I guess, because I've always been lean. So I should have a lot of trouble gaining weight, but now that I'm just using certain strategies for eating more, like eating very high calorie foods, I'm good. That's it.
There you go.
Like, yeah, it's really that simple. People make it so hard, and sometimes the truth is you gotta eat more. And, you know, it's not necessarily eating more in the form of more volume of food, but then more food. Well, I was going to say food quality, right? But yeah.
You got to get the pocket pizza.
Well, I have another note.
Queso.
Bro, okay, hold on. First, before I go into what I was going to say, you've called it a pocket pizza. You've called it a private pizza. Bro, it's a personal pizza.
I know. I just think it's
so
funny.
I love when you said private pizza in that one text. I laughed so hard, bro. It was so funny. I just imagine someone like hiding their pizza like this. And they're just like,
oh no, we're starting with this again.
All right, but anyways. No, a lot of guys, they're like, oh, I've been bulking for 2 years. And it's like, oh, how much weight have you gained? You've been bulking for 2 years. Oh, I've gained 15 pounds. It's like, then you fucking have not been bulking for 2 years. You've been goofing off and like kind of eating in a surplus some days. And then you're probably losing weight some weeks and then it's coming back. It's like that's not a consistent bulk. Right.
So you're calling out past me basically because that's what I was doing, right?
Well, current you is getting strong as shit, you know? Like, so I mean, you've also realized too that it just pays off to bulk, and then you know when you do inevitably become too fluffy for your own liking, then you can cut back like 20 pounds and then do it again, or 30 pounds, whatever. You know what I mean? It's not like, you know, and some people say you have to like bulk forever and all that, and like aesthetics don't matter. That's another topic, but like, you know, when we get to that like peak, we'll just come back down and then we'll do it again, and it is what it is, you know. But like calling like a 3-year period where you gained like 10 pounds like a bulk is just offensive to me.
That's fair. Yeah,
because that's just like
So speaking of getting the calories in, I was just at this little family gathering at like a cafe or whatever, and I ordered this cake, which was called Death by Chocolate. I don't know if you guys have ever.
What?
It was called Death by Chocolate Cake, and it was a chocolate cake with like in between the layers of cake, it had like a chocolate cream, and then sprinkled all over the cake was like these thick sprinkles of chocolate, and then on top of that it had like a chocolate sauce like on the whole thing, and it was like this big. So it was like it lived up to the name, like Death by.
How thick was the cake? Like was it?
It was thick. I could not finish it.
I don't know why that made me laugh.
That's thick, bro.
How thick was it?
It was a very thick slice of cake, and I could not finish it. And I love chocolate. I love cake. I'm like a really sweet tooth kind of guy. Like I tend to think that I've got like no limit when it comes to that kind of stuff. But this cake, it beat me, man. It got the better of me. I couldn't finish it.
It was too much.
It was too much, dude. It was death by chocolate cake. I would have died if I finished it.
I was gonna come on here and have like a bowl of like apples and like fucking just all kinds of healthy shit, but I forgot.
No one would have believed you anyway, bro. It'd be like that's just
like some guys are just like eating lettuce, like 2 pounds of lettuce, 50 calories.
Bro, I'm just imagining people clipping that like without the context of the cake.
Yeah.
You were talking about
How thick was it?
It was extremely thick.
Okay.
Yeah, well, cake talk.
Next topic.
Next topic. Tris, you got something for us,
God. Let's see. Oh, yeah. So you referenced AI training, now known as AE training, actually. And he had a few...
Arms enthusiasts, right?
Arms enthusiasts, yep. He had a few themes in mind as well that I have here. Let's see.
Shout out to
he wanted
AE.
to know. Shout out to AE.
That just doesn't sound right.
Yeah, he's always gonna be
I'm a-
AI.
Yeah.
Like
sure. We're
there's
just
like
gonna call
a
him
whole
AI.
like clique of guys
It
on
is
the
what it
Discord
is.
that like just change their names constantly.
Right.
And well, like some people still call him Hammy all the time because he had his name like as hamstring something,
Hamstring bias.
He had that name for like 12 hours, and like 6 months later, people still call him Hammy all the time.
You know what's
God.
funny? I don't know if I want to call out the Discord like that, actually.
Come on, go for it. We love some
Do it,
Discord
do it.
drama.
It's not a huge thing, but I feel like everybody wanted to feel like they're like a freaking natural hypertrophy clone, so they all like thought of like initials, like NH. So then I know you didn't do this, but they started calling you NL. They
I'm
started
NL,
calling.
bro. Well, I'm the closest to NH.
That's true.
But is that like an NH exclusive where like you have like a 2-letter name? Or,
I mean, no, but like I feel like everyone that's doing it in the Discord is doing it like because of him.
oh
you know what
yeah,
I mean?
to like yeah.
To like be like to be similar.
Like
I
an
guess.
NH LARP.
Yeah.
A lark.
Yeah, so I'm just LARPing as NH with my NL name.
No, but like there's so many people in the Discord that have a name like that, and it's like they have like some like cheesy thing, and then it's like initials, and they're gonna hate me for saying that.
Everyone's just being called out. So
Bro,
everyone
this
who
is
has
all
a
Minecraft,
2-letter name
guys.
has
Hold
to
up,
come
hold up.
on
Aidan,
the podcast.
You're gonna be called out even worse for your Discord name.
Ziz.
Ziz with the X.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what was the AI/Hammy/AE topic?
So, what makes an intermediate, and what would be the best practices for a beginner? I guess they are kind of separate topics. So, let's start with what makes an intermediate in your eyes.
That's a good question, and there's many ways to define that. So we're talking in like a bodybuilding context, right?
Yeah.
So I guess it's okay. I mean, I know we were just talking about like LARPing for NH, and I'm like about to give like NH's definition of an intermediate.
What's his definition? I don't even know it.
So I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Tris, because maybe you're more of a connoisseur than me, but I think he would say something like it's once you start programming for yourself, and once like one of these basic programs with just the most basic progression doesn't work for you anymore, and you have to start like branching out to start creating your own programming to be able to progress further. Essentially, once you're done with your newbie gains, then that makes you an intermediate. And maybe that's more like a little bit more relevant for a bodybuilder rather than just picking some kind of strength standard. But also, yeah, I don't know if you can like apply that to everyone, because not everyone like goes into making their own programs, right? There are.
Can I jump in?
Go ahead.
Just if you were done, but
Yeah, go ahead.
I see a lot of people trying to make programs when they haven't even like lifted yet. So, I mean, that definition makes sense if like their beginner program like stopped working and that's why they're doing it. But I see a lot of guys, they're just like they think they can make a program even though they've.
That was literally me. That was
Okay.
me, literally. Yeah.
There it is. You were an intermediate like from the get-go. Sorry, there's some lag.
I guess.
Bro skipped over
Yes, I
the
was.
beginner.
Didn't know what I was doing,
Wait.
but I guess. Yeah.
Wait, what did it look like? What did I say?
Oh, God. Yo, you want me to pull it up? It was bad, bro. Wait. Hold
What
up.
was bad?
He's
see,
gonna
I think I
show
still
us
got
his
it.
first program.
I think I still got it. Oh, God. It's going to be bad.
So
Let's see.
while he's
Yawning, by
looking
the way.
for it, Aidan, how would you define like an intermediate?
Oh man. Well, in a bodybuilding context, that's tough because I started out just as like someone who wanted to get stronger and build muscle. So for me, like intermediate was always like numbers.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more difficult to define with a bodybuilder. But do you subscribe to like the 2-plate bench, 3-plate squat, 4-plate deadlift kind of thing? For like someone who wants to get strong, like that.
For like general lifting and like someone that cares about strength and size, I would say that that's like a decent indicator. Yeah.
For like 1 rep on like
1 rep maxes.
bench,
Yeah.
squat, and deadlift, like that would make you an intermediate.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. But I mean, that's not to say that if you haven't benched 225 that you're like a beginner. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's like, I would say maybe for intermediate, I would put the numbers a little bit lower.
I mean,
All right,
like,
so
it totally depends on the person.
You got it?
Right?
Yeah, it depends on the person, because some people have different leverages, and a 225 bench is like not fucking easy for them. So.
Oh god, yeah, I got it. It's pretty bad, bro.
Okay,
I'm not gonna lie.
we're watching
Okay. So
Triss's intermediate program.
oh god, it's not, for the record, not an intermediate program. It was bad. Let's see. So okay. Parentheses. This was not my first program I ran. I guess I had run a program before that. Because I was just at a commercial gym then. But that was not really a program. That was just going in, and I was like, well, I guess I got a bench today, so guess I got to write it in my notes, right? That whole thing.
True.
So this was my first time really programming for myself, that I got the home gym or the garage gym as well. So this is what it was. It was 3 times full body. It was Monday. I would, at home, because I had a pull-up bar at home, I would do AMRAP for pull-ups, 4 sets, and then 4 sets of handstand push-ups, because I was lean enough to do them. And I would just superset those at home. Then I would go to the garage gym. I would do a 3x5 of squats, superset it with abs, which is stupid, but anyway. I would do a Romanian deadlift, 4 sets of 8 to 12 reps, supersetted with calves, which isn't the worst. Then I would do 4 sets of a neutral grip bench, supersetted with inverted rows, and then 3 sets of curls, supersetted with, let's see, what was this? Supersetted with tricep work. So that was day 1. That was Monday.
That's pretty.
It's not too bad. It's not as bad as I expected.
But listen. Then it gets worse, because Wednesday, I do the exact same thing at home, so pull-ups and handstand push-ups, right? And then I go bench for 3x5. So I've already seen my shoulders, right? Yeah, exactly. So that was dumb. Then I would do RDL again, and superset it with diamond push-ups, because I guess.
Why not?
Then that's obviously 4 sets, 8 to 12, right? Because Then Bulgarian split squats, 4 sets, 8 to 12, supersetted with inverted rows, and then 3 sets of curls and calves. So that's Wednesday, and then Friday it's literally the exact same thing at home, doing pull-ups. This time I didn't do the push-ups, so only pull-ups. Then deadlifts for 3x5, OHP for 3x5 after deadlifts.
Oh, that's why you didn't do the handstand push-ups then.
Right.
So you're deadlifting like 3 times a week?
Sort of, yeah. 2 times Romanian deadlifts, and then 1 time doing normal deadlifts. Yep.
That's
and then OHP 3x5 supersetted with inverted rows.
That's probably the toughest thing on the program. Like the worst thing on there, I think, is having that much volume, and like I'm assuming you were doing hard sets on the deadlifts or the RDLs.
Oh yeah.
So that's just way too much.
Absolutely.
Frequency.
And I was kickboxing on my off days or running as well, so I was not recovering at all, right? So let's see.
So how long were you doing that?
Man, I ran this. Let's see. I can kind of scroll down. Let's see. When does the 3 times full body end? Okay, I'm still on 3 times full body, and I'm like a few pages in. Oh, let's see. I started upper lower.
Yeah, because that's pretty intense, and so
Yeah.
you were like a beginner there essentially.
Yeah, essentially. Not even essentially. I was a beginner.
Yeah.
I was doing this probably because I also have my strength numbers, right? So let's see those. On the deadlift,
that's what
for
it's fun to see.
example.
135.
Let's see. Yeah, it's bad. Let's see. So if I scroll up a bit when I started it, it's kind of hard because I just have it in my notes, right? So it's not perfect, but it is what it is. Let's see. When I was doing that, it was probably here.
What was it?
Mm,
We haven't done a flex yet.
Keep the people
Nice.
busy.
So
There we go.
okay, Romanian deadlifts here.
There it is.
Nice. So I was RDLing a plate, so 60 kilos.
Oh my
And
god.
then for deadlifts, I was... Shit. I scrolled up too
Yeah, I mean,
much, so I gotta... Oh, here, I got it. Yeah, I think... So how I note it down is doing it on both sides, so 35 kilos on both sides, which is 70 plus 20 kilos, 90 kilos. 90 kilos. 90 kilos. So that's like 195-ish maybe, or like low 200s.
Yeah.
I think.
So yeah, I mean to be, so you were a beginner and you were just doing like crazy volume.
Yes. Even on 3 times full body, right?
Yeah.
So 3 times full body is supposed to be beginner friendly because you can't do that much volume, and still I just loaded it with volume.
It all in there. But interestingly, you didn't get injured, right? And you made
I did not
awesome gains.
Or
no? Or did the gains start after you got a different program?
The gains started when I started upper lower, basically. Well, let's see. Yeah, I think I may have gained like 3 kilos of muscle on that in like a few months. So I would say like 4 to 5 months maybe, and I gained like 2 to 3 kilos of muscle, something like that, which is not bad, but like for a beginner, it's not that great. And so when I started upper lower, and then more importantly, when I started eating enough, that's when I like gained 10 kilos in like 10 months or something like that, right?
Yeah.
It went really quickly.
Yeah. No, that seems like a pretty crazy program. Definitely, I would say at that point, you should not have been programming for yourself. Like you should have taken someone else's program and just used that. Yeah. And it probably would have been safer and more effective. Because that seems a bit crazy to be doing that much. But I can also sympathize with that, because I was also trying to program for myself from the very beginning. It's not like I started from zero, because I had already a lot of experience with CrossFit, however much you want to say that carries over to bodybuilding.
Bro, I find that so crazy. Like all the CrossFit you did, and like you didn't even look like you lifted at that point, and then you did bodybuilding and you blew up.
But yeah, from the beginning, I was programming for myself, and yeah, I think that was also a mistake. I watched a lot of NH videos, and I was like, I gotta do my own program, and I do think eventually you should work up to doing your own program. But if you're just getting started, you'll do better just by getting someone else's program and following it. And at one point in the beginning, I was doing I wasn't even following like a weekly schedule. I was just doing 4 days of training and then 1 rest day. So along a week, I'll train like in like a 9-day period, I would have like 1 rest day, right? So it was I don't know. It was ridiculous. And obviously I couldn't do that for long. And I was even doing CrossFit at the same time. Like I was doing CrossFit and I would come home and like train again and stuff. And doing that on my own program. That's crazy. That was stupid. It was just really stupid.
Well, I gotta say, sorry to cut you off, Dante, but even though I think it was a mistake for me, it was beneficial in the sense because I learned like a lot about programming and about specifically my body, what supersets work for me, what exercises work for me. So, you know, gains wise, if you want to see fast progress, definitely get onto a better program. But for the long run, it's actually been pretty beneficial because now I just know what I can and can't do. So, yeah, sorry to cut you off there.
Yeah,
Dante.
I mean, as long as you're not pushing
My dog
it to
just
a point.
came.
Oh, are we gonna get a little? Are we gonna get a dog reveal? If anyone's just listening, now's the time to like open your screen and take a look. Is it not? Is it not happening?
He's gone. Okay.
She's like, oh, there she is.
Oh, there's a dog.
Hey, what's up? That's cute.
This way.
Okay. Oh, full dog reveal.
Dog review.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh shit. What was I saying? Yeah, like it, you know, obviously you shouldn't push it to the point where you're like actually hurting yourself, because that's bad, and that's easy to do if someone's like really keen and they have no idea what they're doing in the beginning. They don't have their form down yet. They don't know how their recovery works, and they're just, you know, they think they can program their way to getting jacked like, you know, 10 times quicker than they should be, and they end up injuring themselves. So yeah, be careful with that, guys. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I think like most of the jacked naturals that we all look up to, they make their own programs, right? So I think that is definitely a part of the journey. But I guess for both me and Tris, that definition of intermediate where you start programming for yourself doesn't really work, because we were both beginners and we tried to program for ourselves.
That's just like a nice, like fancy, like definition.
Yeah.
Sounds like, ooh, when you program for yourself, you are an intermediate. Excuse me, I program for myself. Even though I weigh 120, I am an intermediate.
That exactly.
Tris, what's your definition of an intermediate bodybuilder?
Ooh. So, okay, it's not a definition, right? But I said this in the Discord as well. When I thought I was an intermediate, I was actually still a beginner. But when I knew that I was an intermediate, I was actually an intermediate. I think deep down, we all know at what stage of lifting we are, right?
Yeah.
Because we just see, like, it's hard to say, okay, we've got these strength numbers, so I'm at this level, because for some people that just doesn't work. Some guys are way stronger or weaker than others, right? But if you combine like your rate of progression, your rate of weight gain, your strength numbers, and also your programming knowledge, I think if you combine all of those, maybe some other factors that I'm just not thinking of right now, then you can truly say like, okay, I'm probably at this stage right now.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
That's another definition. I don't know who says that, but like, you know, when you progress week to week, you're a beginner. When you progress month to month, you're intermediate. And when you progress like year to year, then you're advanced or whatever. But even that, you can't like apply that to everyone, because I've seen Aidan progress week to week, you know.
Well, I'll say this. I'm not progressing week to week on like
everything,
you know, like everything, and especially not like the big compound lifts like that. Like I haven't hit like a full-on bench PR, like a 1 rep max in like 4 years, and it's kind of because I haven't tried to.
Yeah.
But especially after switching to Larson and close grip and paused, it's like now I have all these things holding me back. So when I hit, you know, a 5-pound PR, but with all of those things also with it, that's like a big difference from if I just bounced, you know, the next 5 pounds off my chest with fucking my ass in the air. But what was I going to say? Yeah, like, I mean, the progression you see sometimes is me like making gains back from like when I was cut. And then, you know, obviously there's some things I've actually progressed a lot on, like RDLs. I never was RDLing that before.
But like you hit a PR that you hit at a higher body weight, and then you hit it at a lower body weight, right?
Yeah. The only thing that I've made a ton of progress on, like legit progress, is like shoulder pressing movements and back
the
stuff.
Aidan press.
in the Aidan press. And now there's this thing that I'm like very serious about. It's like this flat bench, like tricep extension, where you like you go like this,
Right.
laying down, then go like that. Like Ball Omni-Man does that,
dumbbells?
but he does it on a decline. Alex Leonidas does it. Yeah, I hit 65s for 7 on that a
Nice.
couple days ago, and 60s for 11. And then I do back down sets. I do back down sets with like what I was doing for a top set, or actually more than that, like 3 months ago. You know,
Right.
so a lot of the progression just comes from like getting back into my strong state. Like I was doing like 30s on that when I was lean. Just I don't know. Some things fluctuate more than others,
But at the end of the day, like, how much does it even matter to have a definition of beginner or intermediate?
It doesn't matter at
Like,
all.
do you apply? You know, when I'm going to work out, I'm not like I'm an intermediate, so I will. Work
I'm
out
an
like
intermediate.
this. Yeah. So I don't know. Like, does the definition have any relevance? Like, how is that useful to
Right.
know?
And also, I think being an intermediate, or at least knowing that you are at a certain stage, is when you do certain movements that you know are better for your body. So for me, for example, I just don't like normal barbell squatting. It just doesn't really fit well with my body type. I'll
like
do it, of
squatting at
course.
all.
Like, fair enough. Like,
not anymore.
I'll do it sometimes, you know, just to keep the movement going and just keep that neural connection, I guess. But what I love the most is just doing very like sort of plaid style squatting. So with heel elevation, feet very close together, and then using my SSB as well, and pausing at the bottom. And I'm so much weaker at that. But like the way that I feel my quads, it's like none other. So
Night and day.
that's a variation that I found works very well for my body. And some people, like Aidan, right? I believe you said that you feel your quads like with normal squatting amazingly. So for you, normal squatting works well.
So
at
much
least
so that
before the
I get
injuries.
tendonitis.
Yeah, exactly. So it's finding movements that fit your body as well. I think that might be one of the most important indicators as to whether you are an intermediate or not.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's a good point. And like even probably
Oh,
just
I got a good definition.
go ahead.
When you stop doing stupid shit in the gym.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Wow, we figured it out.
That's kind of what I was gonna say. Is like once, excuse me, once you're like really good at like a wide range of movements, and you can actually perform them with really good form, where you know someone looks at you and it's like, okay, this guy knows how to lift,
What he's doing.
right?
Yeah.
And like you're actually working the muscles you want to work, and you're actually training close to failure. You have a good RPE without your form breaking down, and that kind of stuff. I think that's a pretty good indicator of an intermediate, because you get some beginner who, you know, has only been lifting weights for 2 months or something. You're going to see that in their lifts. You know, when they're training, it doesn't look so smooth. It's a bit, you know, wobbly, like they're not as
I got
tight
something
and
else.
everything. So that's, yeah.
I think this can go for pretty much everybody. If you've been lifting for under 2 years, then you're probably not an intermediate yet, or under like 1 year, I should say.
Yeah.
Because under 1 year, it's like you still have noob gains to make. You know, I think once you've like exhausted your noob gains, whatever those may be for you, that's like the legit definition of like you're intermediate now. I froze. Fuck.
Oh yeah, just for a
You're
second.
back. You're back.
Just for a second. Yeah,
All right.
you're good.
All right.
We
So
heard you.
yeah, like if you finish the noob gains and then now things are taking a little longer, like, but you're like getting more impressive. It's not like things are just taking longer and you still look like shit. That doesn't count. But like if you've gotten to a good point, I'm being too mean there, but you know what I mean? Because there's some people that are like, oh, my progress slowed. It's like, well, your progress slowed because you're doing shit wrong. Like it didn't
Yes.
slow because you're so fucking good. You know?
And that was for me, right? I was firstly doing a
Sorry.
program.
That was
No,
too
but
mean.
like
Progress
it's
slowed because you're a
completely accurate.
140-pound elite stretcher.
It was not directed at uterus, by the way. It's directed at just certain types of people.
No, but you're absolutely right. Like I would say that about my past self as well. Like, yeah, bro, you're stalling because you're doing stupid shit at the gym and you're not eating enough. Like, bro,
Yeah.
you're still a beginner. You're not supposed
Eating really
to
is the
get this.
main thing that holds most people back too. And like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stress this as much as I can right now. And I told Natty like this story, or Dante this story one time. Like when my gains like exploded out of nowhere past like the first 2 years, it was because I saw a David Lade video where he was sitting there with his buddy, and he was like, "You guys need to eat more, and you need to like actually get enough calories." And that was the first time I heard the calories in, calories out kind of thing, just with protein being like the focus. Because like I was like, oh shit, so I can just like not eat all this healthy shit and like only have 2,000 calories a day. So that's when I realized I could eat a little more dirty, but then, you know, my squat goes from like 335 to 405 in like 2 months, like no joke. So that was still noob gains that I hadn't tapped into because I just wasn't eating.
Yeah.
You know, bench went from like 225 to like 275, like just all kinds of shit.
Yeah. And that's what's been happening to me recently as well, right? I mean, my RDL has went from a top set of 110 kilos to now a top set of 140 kilos, and my back downs being 110 kilos, right? So yeah, strength gains are like insane when you start a proper bulk.
Yeah, not the whole like 0.2 pounds a week bullshit.
Yeah.
The 30 calorie surplus.
Yeah, like the last bulk Natty Life did was freaking legit. Like I watched that whole thing. The bulk you're doing now is legit. The bulk I'm doing now, like I know it's working. So
yeah, I went from
those are some good
kilos
examples
to 86 kilos in
Jeez.
over a year. But yeah, 16 kilos.
Holy, that is insane. Yeah.
Yeah, but that just goes to show, like, you know, we're the people making progress, right? The people that are just gonna say, "Oh, I'm gonna." Well, okay, eating healthy is not bad, but if eating healthy is stopping you from eating enough, then find a new hobby because you're never gonna really make progress if you're not eating enough.
But bro, you don't need
And that
to
can
eat
also
more
be like
to put muscle on. You only need a 30 calorie surplus to build muscle. I mean, you do not need to eat more to build muscle. This is a fact.
This is science.
This is science.
Main game.
Just
Main
game.
game,
Just
bro.
all this
This
ball
is
cut,
math.
ball cut, just main game, dude.
Yeah. Everything that
Yeah.
we said was satire, by the way. Like, we promote main gaining.
Yeah.
Just so
Yeah.
y'all know.
We're main gaining maxis.
We're main gaining, and it's
Main
all in
game maxing.
Minecraft. What's that shit that you say, Dante? You're like, this is all in Minecraft, guys. Anytime you don't want something to be like taken seriously,
Yeah, it's just in Minecraft.
we're all just lifting in Minecraft. We're not real lifters.
Yeah. So what do you think? We got another topic, or was there something else you wanted to touch on there, Tris?
Sure, I got another topic. Let's see. Gotta open my phone. Oh god. I have my program opened on my notes now.
Oh no,
Let's
now
get
you
back
just
to
need to
it.
scroll up 3 years.
Get that
on
shit
your-
out of my sight.
Oh god.
Or you got anything for us, Aidan, in the meantime?
I
Oh
think
yeah.
I only had three. The three we went over.
Come on, Tris.
Yeah, but they were long
Right.
ones.
I got one. Yeah, I got one.
Okay.
Let's see. I wanted to know because I don't think I've ever heard Dante talk about it. Or yes, I did. Like, what are y'all sports backgrounds? Like, just from birth to now, basically.
Start at age 0.
Start at
At
age
age
zero.
0, I was walking
Okay, Aidan,
Nice.
you go
That's
first.
competitively.
list cardio.
I'm starting. I played like soccer, I think, when I was a kid. Some basketball, some shit like that. Probably like did some swim lessons, stuff like that. But then from maybe 11 to 17, I did taekwondo.
Right.
That was like my main.
And do you feel
Sport.
like that gave you some kind of carryover, some kind of benefit
Oh, yeah,
when you
'cause-
started lifting?
Because in taekwondo, like with the forms and stuff, it's all about like intensity and stuff. So I already knew like going balls to the wall and like going ape shit. I already knew that from taekwondo and from like extreme martial arts and all that.
Interesting.
So Yep.
Well, for me, yeah, I wasn't like particularly sporty. I mean, I guess I like to skateboard. I had one of those, you know, those 2-wheel skateboards where you go like this. You guys know
Wait.
what I'm talking about?
talking about the ripstick,
So,
Maybe ripstick.
the one where you like go like sideways.
Yeah,
and, like,
dude, I was so good at
That's
that.
all red.
right?
I
Like a
love
waveboard
those,
or
dude.
something.
Yeah, so I used to do that, but like
Same.
not like as like a pro or anything, just like as a kid, like hanging out with my friends. So
Having
there was
fun.
that. I man, I played maybe a little bit of football or soccer, as you guys would say, like very little.
What about
And
esports?
yeah, I was more into the video games, to be honest. So as a teenager, I wasn't very sporty at all, I would say. I was extremely skinny, as I was saying before. I was like 55, 60 kilos. So it was only really when I turned 18 that I started doing CrossFit, and that's what got me into like some more serious training. So I did CrossFit from the age of 18 to about 24. So for like probably 5 or 6 years, I did CrossFit.
For
And
6 years? I didn't know you did it for 6 years.
yeah, dude, I started at 18 and
Wow.
until I started, bodybuilding, I was doing CrossFit. And
Did you do like
Yeah.
the butterfly pull-ups?
yeah, dude, but the
How many
problem
did
We
you
was
talked
do?
about that.
like I did serious CrossFit for like maybe 6 or 8 months before I started bodybuilding. That's why I did serious CrossFit. The first like 5 years was bullshit CrossFit. Okay, and I
Like what? Like a
hope that
class?
like my trainer or the coach doesn't hear this. But I'm sorry. That was not CrossFit. It was like this group class with basically like 40 to like 60-year-old women and me. Basically, it was like 12 women and me, and we were doing like kettlebell swings, burpees, like sprinting up a
So
hill.
just like general fitness.
Yeah, and like
EPP.
maybe like clean and press, and but with like no
It's like 10
progression.
pounds.
Yeah, no progression, no tracking, just make it up on the spot. No, like crappy pull-ups, and mainly just like kettlebell swings, sprinting, and burpees. And that's not really like, they called it CrossFit, but that's not really CrossFit. Like CrossFit is actually a lot more than that. So that's really what I did for like 5 years. And yeah, that got me nowhere, honestly, like absolutely nowhere. And then I went to a new gym where they were actually doing proper CrossFit, and they had like a proper program. They had an app where you were logging all your lifts in, and you had like a progression of your lifts. And we were doing the squat, bench, and deadlift, and we were doing the rope climbs and the muscle ups and all the CrossFit skills. We were doing all of them, and like there were actually like strong people there who were like much stronger than me and had like better skills than me. And so I finally had someone to look up to, right? Because those 5 years of doing that stuff with like these middle-aged women that were just going there to get moving a little bit, and I was always like by far the strongest person in the class. And so I never really had to like push myself, or it was never really a challenge or anything to like be ahead of everyone else. So I don't know, that I never really got anywhere there. And then when I started going to this like serious CrossFit gym and started actually training really hard and logging the lifts and everything, that's when I like fell in love with like training heavy. Because I would go there, and there would be days when we'd just be like carrying fucking sandbags and doing burpees and whatever, and I just wanted to kill myself. And then there are other days where it's like, today we're gonna max out on the bench press, and then we're gonna do 5x5 on the bench press or something like that. I was like, this is the best. I wish I could do this all the time. And then that's when
That makes sense, yeah.
yeah, and then that's when I like put the gym together in my house. I was like, you know what? I could get a rack in my house, and then I wouldn't only get to bench once a month. I would be able to bench whenever I wanted. And then so that's why I like put the gym
That's
together
so
in my
funny.
house, and that's how like I got into all this stuff. So that's my background. Tris?
Yeah, let's see. I only did a few sports. I did football or soccer, right? So I did that from, I believe, like 7 or 8 years old till probably 17, something like that. I did that for a very, very long time. But then I kind of fell in love with kickboxing. and I did that
Nice.
from, I would say, 17 till about 19 years old, something like that. And then while I was kickboxing, Corona hit. And that was actually when I started
Corona
to...
hit you?
Yeah, Corona hit. Basically.
So you
Slapped
guys
in the
could
face
both
by
like beat
Corona.
my ass, is what you're saying.
I mean, I wasn't that good. Honestly, I wasn't that good. Because I stopped before I was, like, competitive. I would say if I would have had maybe half a year to a year more practice, I maybe could have, like, entered an amateur match, something like that. But I wasn't that great. But then Corona hit me in the face. And I started to go to the gym more to get stronger at kickboxing, because I was like, well, what can I do in the meantime that gets me more prepared for kickboxing? I was like, well, guess I'll do fitness and build up the body a bit more. And that's when I realized that, oh, it's pretty cool, like how this all works and programming and stuff. And I believe the first program that I ever saw online was actually the Alpha
I knew it. I was
Destiny
about to
full
say
body
it.
2 times
Yeah.
a week program. Yeah, it was the first one that I ever saw, and I was like, oh, okay. So you got, like, what the hell is a deadlift, and why is it called a deadlift? And I started doing more research, and I stumbled across. Yeah, I stumbled across deadlift. So deadlifts. Started seeing more YouTube videos and stuff like that, and got into the whole lifting sphere, and here I am.
Yeah.
There you go.
And do you feel you had some carryover or benefits from the things you did before?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because when I started lifting, I was like, these squats ain't shit. Doing 12 reps to failure is easy. And I actually did, like, I would say, when I say failure, I was not even talking about technical failure. I was doing, like, actual failure. If I was deadlifting, it would be to actual failure, not technical failure, just when the spine was rounded and I couldn't get the bar up anymore. So it's really, like, it's a wonder, like a miracle really, that I never got injured, because I was doing some dumb shit. But
yeah, so
I guess I was kind of prepared for it because of the hard work that I did earlier.
Yeah, I think in that way, CrossFit definitely helped me as well. Like in terms of just being able to train hard from the beginning, because no one goes to a legit CrossFit class and like thinks it's easy. Like you can say whatever you want about CrossFit. That shit's
That's why you get
hard.
rhabdo.
Oh yeah, I
Like
believe
you train freaking hard when you do CrossFit, and maybe it doesn't get you the best bodybuilding results, but it's a freaking hard workout, and you'll be dead by the end of it. So having done that for a while, and then coming into the gym and bringing that intensity from the beginning was definitely quite the advantage. I think so many people, they start training and they just don't know how to lift hard enough because they.
So we kind of had the same advantage then.
Life. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
we all had, really, yeah. And I think most people that you see that are like at a high level of bodybuilding had this kind of thing. Like they did a sport and then transitioned into lifting, and they just applied that same mindset. Not to say that you can't get the mindset. Eric Buchenhagen, by the way, shout out to him. Not to say that you can't get that mindset doing just lifting, but you gotta start seriously from the get-go then, I think. Or at least you gotta develop that through very hard work. Because like you gotta run like a Smolov program or something to get that mindset maybe. Because just doing hypertrophy work, it's relatively easy. Like I would rather do this all day than doing like a very hard kickboxing session or a very hard running session, right?
Yeah,
it's way harder.
For sure, yeah. Yeah, I mean the intensity is like during, I don't know, 3 reps at the end of the set, right? That's the intensity, and then you rest for like a couple minutes, right? But there are so many other sports where the intensity is just fucking go like the whole time. That's so much worse. Like I hate that. Like my nightmare would be like having to run a marathon or something. That just sounds just seems horrible. Like you're just suffering for like 3 hours nonstop.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, in that sense,
different strokes for different folks. You know?
Yeah,
I mean, some people fucking hate lifting. Like I'll tell you, some people just hate like straining with a heavy weight.
Yeah.
So
But I've loved like the short burst of intensity. You know, you like give it your all for 30 seconds, and then you're good for the next 3 minutes and until you go
it's
again,
definitely easier.
It's also very.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, just finishing it up. I guess it's also very easy to prepare yourself for that, right? Because if I'm doing like a heavy set of squats, all I gotta think about is, okay, I gotta do 10 reps, but then the first 5 are gonna be very easy, and then it's just a countdown from there, right? But if I'm like preparing myself to go on a 10K run, and I'm like 5K in, I'm like, bro, I'm dead, I want to stop, and like you gotta go on, right?
Yeah.
It's way harder to prepare yourself for that mentally, I would say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And that's like Tom Platz enters the chat and he just does like, just squat, like a one set of squat is like 60 minutes of just like, yeah, I don't know.
Insane.
But what I wanted to say is, I was always that guy that has been doing like these ridiculous rest times in between sets and just, taking 4 hours in the gym and whatever. And I kind of like drank the Kool-Aid of like, it doesn't matter how long you rest, like, you can rest as long as you want. I think I've come to the conclusion that was like a waste of my time, because I'd like spend 4 hours in the gym and do like 15 sets or something ridiculous. So
I've never heard of that before other than you.
So
it's also you have the home gym, right? So.
Yeah, it's like I'd just be chilling down there, like listening to a podcast or something. And it's not that I wasn't training hard, but I was just like spending so much time and not actually doing that much. So on my new program, I have the timer, and I've got the timer on 2 minutes, and no matter like how hard the sets are, I'm doing 2 minutes. So for the first time,
I'm actually compound that might be a little tough. I'm just gonna let you know. For like bicep curls and stuff, you'll be fine.
I'll say it's not actually 2 minutes, because like I get like, let's say I'm benching, I get off the bench, I go write down how much I did, I get the remote, I put it on 2 minutes, and then my thing, it like counts down 10 seconds, and then it starts to 2 minutes.
It's more like 3 minutes.
And then I go set up again and whatever. But still, I put 2 minutes on the clock, and then I try and stick to it more or less as closely as possible. And it's absolutely kicking my ass. It's getting me to do 2-hour workouts where I'm literally doing, in half the time, I'm doing double the volume that I ever did. Damn. So I'm working out way, way harder. Well, not harder, but like way more.
Are you doing like
volume.
30 sets or something like that?
Yeah, I'm doing like 10 exercise. Yeah, like 30 sets. Yeah.
Damn, that's quite a lot. Yeah.
Like on the upper body days, yeah, that's about how much.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
So I'm doing way more volume in a way shorter amount of time. It's absolutely kicking my ass. I mean, I'm drenched in sweat by the end. I'm like, breathing hard and stuff, which I'm absolutely not used to in like the bodybuilding context. But it's great. Like it's I don't know, it's a breath of fresh air, I feel. And I feel like it's actually, I don't know, I feel like it's going to bring me a lot better results than what I was doing before. So I've completely switched it up. And short rest times. It's not crazy short, like 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes or whatever. But yeah, it's something I'm really not used to. And I'm really keen to see, what kind of results that's going to bring me. And I'm getting so sore after these workouts. Like it's on another level compared to what I had before. I almost never got sore, but now from this volume, I'm like destroyed by the end.
Right.
So it'll be very interesting to see what happens in the next couple months with that.
I was counting my sets on my second upper body day as well. I was like, how many sets am I doing there? So I'm doing, I believe, around 31 sets too, or maybe 29 to 31, something like that. And then on my lower body days, on my second lower day, for example, I only do 22 sets. But I superset a lot, right? So normally I'll be in the gym for lower body days, probably 90 to 100 minutes, something like that. And for upper body days, it might be a bit more. it'll probably always be around 2 hours as long as I don't like fuck around too much and just something like that.
Sounds like we're doing something very similar then.
Yeah, but I'm not doing that many compounds, to be honest. Like I'll do quite a few compounds, but then I'll do a lot of isolation as well, which I superset, which is where the bulk of the work comes in. Because I think if you're doing 31 sets of compounds, you're doing something very wrong. So yeah.
Oh gosh.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Guys, we're about 2 hours 10 minutes into this. This is
really,
I think, by far the longest podcast we've ever done. Episode 10.
Nice.
What do you guys think? Should we wrap it up there? I think
that's a good.
I think we had a excuse me. I think we had a pretty damn good run there. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. I mean, if anyone watched this long, you got to leave a comment. Let us know. Give us a thumbs up.
Y'all.
You know, we've done 10 episodes of this shit now, so you know, help us out. Give us a thumbs up. Share it with a friend or something, right? And I guess we'll see you in a week or two.
Yep.
So yeah,
sounds good,
guys. You know what comes at the end of the podcast.
Oh God, let's see. Nice. Oh, you the app like.
All right. So, Natty Talk Podcast, episode 10. Thank you for tuning in. See you next time.
See you guys.
Peace.